Okay, when you're ready, introduce yourself, introduce everyone, give me a countdown, and we will start the timer.
Alright, I'm thesadgebean. I did Ratchet Deadlock yesterday, and I'm doing Ratchet 3. We'll explain QE in a bit, and this time I actually got a commentator, so introduce yourself.
Yo, I'm Andy. I've played this game a couple times for a while.
Yeah, I guess he has a okay PB in this game.
I'm not bad.
Yeah, he might know his way around. This game's a lot more complicated than Ratchet Deadlocked, so I kind of called last minute, and Andy's got my back. So I'll load the file, and then I'm gonna count down from 4, and then we get the action going. So we gotta wait through these 3 loading screens. TLDR, same with Ratchet Deadlock, you can preserve your charge boot momentum, this time with first person camera, and you get some good results. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so this is the first planet, Veldin, and you can see instantly just the movement options are just like through the roof, right? You've got your charge boot speed, as thesadgebean mentioned, but the kind of what you can do out of that speed is kind of far superior to what you might have seen in Deadlocked, right? And so you might be thinking, where's he going? What's he doing? And he's going into the dropship, whose cutscene is actually stored over here, so he can get a little bit faster. Unfortunately, didn't get the death in the dropship. Is that because you're doing the consistent corp?
Yeah,
Did I take it?
I wanted to show it off, and I thought, like, let's not take the chances. I have to look up
Cool.
Chili's tutorial.
Right, so I'll let thesadgebean focus on this part because this does need a little bit of explanation. The next planet in the run is Florana, but we're not going to be doing any of Florana. We're actually going to be skipping straight to the boss as soon as we land, but the setup for that includes kind of some bits we don't understand and some bits we do, and one of the consistent methods for setting up what's called Quark Warp is killing some specific enemies at the end of Veldin. If you want to know how it works, please tell us, because we have no idea. Like, none at all.
Part of the reason why for Deadlocked I offered 5 language options, for this game I only offered 2, is because it doesn't work unless you play in Spanish and German, and that's another unsolved mystery of the game.
Yeah, that might be kind of the weirdest part about it. But as you see there, landed on Florana, didn't press anything, just straight warp to Quark at the end. It's probably the strangest thing you'll see in this run, I want to say.
Alright, this is the Starship Phoenix. This is like a hub world. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. There's some mini games, you can buy armor, test out weapons, and I think this will be the first time this run has been shown at a marathon with a slightly new route. I will not be doing VR skip. I should have probably explained that. I'll be doing the boxy, so more on that later. Right here we're like out of bounds. You're not supposed to be able to like reach this until a remixed version of the level near the end of the game. So some of the geometry here is actually different from that version of the game. I'm trying to do a death abuse here with the charge boots by spamming it. And now we go on to Marcadia. So I mentioned yesterday that there was a level where you wait for 2 minutes doing nothing, and how I swapped around the split names because that's the same thing is also in this game. Yeah, you're gonna get to see that soon, so get ready for 2 minutes of nothing. It's gonna be a good time.
We all love Marcadia, don't we?
Yep.
Right, it's everyone's favourite planet. You know, we skip the first half of it through various methods. So if you're going for the whip jump, nice ledge grab there.
Yeah.
Dropship just spawns in for us, going, you're here already? Okay, I guess I'm here. And now we've got 5 missions of enemy killing, and as we mentioned, one of those is 2 minutes of waiting around, doing nothing, being the hero everyone needs.
Yeah, I almost muscle memoried into the vendor because I've been grinding a lot of NG Plus with quit exploit, which I guess this is a good time to explain that now, so I can give context on why my muscle memory was like that. What's so different that I would press square? So, Andy, you can I'll let you take the wheel on quit exploit.
Yeah, I'll give it an attempt. Quit Exploit is part of the. It's only on the PS3 versions of the game. Actually, that's not true. It's on the Vita as well, but it's only on the ports of the game. And essentially, what happens is when the autosave feature kind of kicks in, it messes with the game's memory. Is the best way I like to put it. Though people who know it better will say, "Oh, it's a pointer manipulation." And essentially, what it allows us to do is rewrite areas of memory, kind of. You can do a lot of wacky stuff with it. What it's used for in the quit exploit category is essentially allowing us to skip most of the game by giving us an item that is only normally available kind of based on game progression. As it's not something I'm really understand. I think only about like 3 people truly understand it. But yeah, it's not what you're going to see in this run, so we're going to have to play Arcadia in this run.
You might catch a glimpse of it later on in the Metropolis level, because we do use the vendor, and I actually quit out of the game so that I could swap the language from Spanish to German, or German to Spanish. Speaking of which, I mentioned earlier that the Quark Warp on Florana only works on those 2 languages, but there's other reasons why we play in those 2 languages. Some unskippable dialogue on Holostar, and I personally play in German because it's the audio cues that I know for this planet. I'm actually not playing with any audio cues at all, I'm kind of just YOLOing it. But, you know, the crowd voted for Spanish, so we're going with Spanish.
Yeah, the audio cues thesadgebean's going to be talking about is specifically for these death abuses, which you're going to see at the end of these missions, which, you know, there are these 5 on Arcadia, then there's 3 on Blackwater, and a few on Annihilation Nation as well. And on the PS2 versions of the game, where this autosave feature doesn't exist, you can, as soon as that mission complete sign comes up, you can just exit the mission and don't have to wait for the kind of outro. On PS3, you can't pause the game while it's saving, so the way around that is to death abuse just as it comes up. And what do you want to talk about for 2 minutes?
How's your day, Andy?
Well, I've been watching some football, been having a good time, just chilling out, really.
Hey, let's go. That sounds cool, man. You sound like you're vibing. Okay, there we go.
That's the word that was in my head, vibing.
Yeah. The strange thing, earlier he mentioned the death abuse thing. The strange thing is, out of the first 4 Ratchet and Clank games, this is the only one where you cannot pause during an autosave. Like, for all of them, you can't load, which it makes sense, you know, it's trying to save. It's overwriting the files. You obviously can't go into the file menu. But this one, you just can't pause at all. It's really weird.
It's one of the PS3 bugs of the Ratchet and Clank 3. It's really weird.
Yeah, like I said earlier, these games did not fully survive the transition to the PlayStation 3. This one turned out a little better than Deadlock did, but you know.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're great attempts, right? And like, if you're playing casually, you will not notice anything. It's a really good port, but yeah, if you know where to look, they're a little bit unstable.
Yeah.
Since we have a bit more time of nothing, I just want to remind people, of course, we are doing this as a charity event. If anyone does want to donate, exclamation mark donate in the chat, I'll bring up a link to the donation page. Donations go to a great cause. We don't have any more incentives or polls. This is the last run, of course. So if anybody does want to donate, then please consider doing so, because it goes to a great cause. And this is the final run. This is the last chance to get any donations read out on stream as well.
2, 0, -1, -2. -3. There we go. I count that one out loud. It's kind of a habit that I stole from watching so many Zem runs.
Do you know what's really funny?
Yeah.
Zem stole that from me all these years ago.
No shot.
The -1, -2 jump, because a bit of history on myself, I guess. This run used to be faster on the PS2 versions, and I didn't have the PS2 version because you needed the NTSC version for it to be faster. So I played on the PS3 version, and we were like, yeah, it's a bit slower, but no one really plays on it. And then slowly over the years, we were like, actually, this could be faster. and so everyone all of a sudden started stealing things like death abuses and things. So yeah, I was one of the OG PS3 runners. So a lot of that kind of stuff came from me and a few others. Whiffle, I think, is also in that boat.
Yeah, this game like took a while before people were like, oh shit, the PS3 version's actually faster, because I think right now you only lose like a maximum of 2 minutes in this category on PS2, because there's just enough stuff to balance it out. Like, it's not a bad experience starting out on PS2. My no QEPB is still on PS2.
We should explain why Walls kind of just disappeared there.
Oh yeah, that.
So that was Ghost Ratchet. The game thought Ratchet was dead, or the game was in the process of killing Ratchet, I should say, when he got pulled out of that death animation state by the cutscene at the end of the 5th and final mission. And so it kind of didn't really know what state Ratchet was in. And so Walls just decided to stop interacting with Ratchet.
Yeah.
Flaws? That's fine. Yeah, no, understand. Here you are. Walls? I don't fucking know.
They needed to cater to us specifically. Yeah, it happens in all 4 of the OG quadrilogy games, but it's only really used in runs of Ratchet 1 and 3. So now here's not the first time it's shown at a marathon, but the first time it's shown in this category at a marathon. So let's see if I get this right. I actually want to focus real quick, so okay, Rage. I think I timed that too early. Could be wrong. But we all make mistakes, so. There we go.
Nice, good job.
Hell yeah. So, you know, first let me get the weapon order. That's a boxy. The suck cannon in this game gets a big ol' upgrade from its first appearance in Ratchet 1. You can now suck up crates, and you can actually swap to another weapon while it's trying to suck up the crate. And if you do that, the crate will be like stuck in the air in like a weird shape, and it looks all funny. But if you do some checkpoint manipulation stuff, and by that I mean just restart the checkpoint, you can get on top of the box and have it launch you at a very long distance. And you're only going to see that once in this route. The world record has it on Arcadia to skip all those ranger missions, but the setup is very like difficult, so most people don't do it. And in all titanium bolts, you see it on the planet Iridia. It saved that planet from being the worst one in the run. Oh, and we're going to Nation. That's fine. Actually, no, that's not fine. I don't want to risk overwriting this thing. So, Andy, if you want to explain the swing shot and overwriting it.
So, if you look in the top left corner of Sedgwick's weapon wheel, you'll see that he has the swing shot, except he doesn't have the swing shot. By entering the VR mission through out of bounds rather than how you're intended to enter it, the game kind of gives you the swing shot to use while you're there. It goes, oh, here you are, you must need the swing shot to complete this. But you don't actually gain access to the swing shot as a weapon or as a gadget until you complete that. But you do still have this kind of image of the swing shot. So you're able to use it, but if that disappears from your weapon wheel, you will not be able to get it back. So Sedge just really didn't want to overwrite that and have to go back to VR.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I could have probably managed my weapons on the fly, but why not just get Dax out of the way, you know? Also, if any of y'all was paying attention to my facial expressions, you'll saw that I kind of silently popped off. I hit a trick called Waterless. It saves like a second, but oh crap. It's really cool if you hit it, and it makes you feel like you're really, really good at the game.
Yeah, it requires a really good neutral long jump, basically. And, I mean, some people would rather have world record. I'd rather hit Waterless, to be perfectly honest. It's that kind of trick. Okay.
I'm gonna go for Dax Proxy 3 times. I give it 3 shots, and if I don't get it, then I'll just do the old way. Okay, that's 1. I practiced this for a little bit, so there's maybe a chance. 2, third time's a charm. Ooh, I was so close. I didn't hit it though.
Nearly.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah,
inconsistent
bad-
proxy.
Bad wall cycles, unfortunately, there. It's a shame. There aren't wall cycles. That's just...
Yeah, no, it's just a meme. I actually believed it the first time I heard it. Like, I thought, like, there's no shot. Like, it sounded just ridiculous enough to fit in with this game. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
you know, gotta you can't instantly just discredit everything, you know, especially not with a game like this. You get a little bit of every kind of crazy trick. You get sequence breaks, you get skipping to the end of the level for no reason. You get instant wall clips. I mentioned yesterday how every Ratchet and Clank game has a weapon that like has its own hitbox. This game has one of those, the mega turrets, and so we just have a way to go out of bounds in the palm of our hand whenever we want. Like, you see all those out of bounds videos for other games you like, those are cool, but just imagine you could do that whenever you want, you know. That's what makes like Ratchet speedruns, so that's one of the things that makes Ratchet speedruns so unique. So, what were you saying, Andy?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that you know, Abadi Gemini is a really fun and well designed kind of puzzle level, really interesting, and we kind of just again decide to discredit all that hard work and just skip it by just jumping at the force field that's meant to keep us out, and it just, alright, yeah, no, come on through.
That force field was one of the things I was concerned about, because when I did on the day of the 21st anniversary of this series, I did a quadfecta run, which was the first 4 Ratchet and Clank games back to back. And Ratchet 1, 3, and Deadlocked 1, 2, and Deadlocked all went like relatively well. I got like under a minute of my PB for all 3 of them, which that's actually impressive now that I think about it. For this game, I got like 5 minutes slower, and one of the reasons was that clip right there. You can void out if you don't get it quickly.
Yeah, there's ways of preventing that, just kind of as long as you kind of move about a little bit, but there's some, I think a lot of this game looks easy, and it isn't, and then a lot of it looks hard, and it isn't. It's a very deceptive game to play.
It's very flashy. There's even planets like Marcadia and this one, Blackwater City. You're still gonna have like moments where you just lose time and you think like, ah, crap. Albeit it's nowhere near as like it'll usually not be anywhere near as brutal as losing time on another level, because maybe your only time loss is, I guess, you destroyed the ship a little too slowly.
Yeah, one of the things about Ratchet speedruns is, you know, okay, it's a 25, 30, 35 minute category, but you know, there's so many kind of loading screens and kind of times where you do have to kind of stay still, not have much to do, that it means when you do have, you know, the ability to save time, you really need to make it count. So the little mistakes do kind of feel like big ones.
Oh crap, I meant to jump into the water to death abuse, but I actually got stuck inside in a rock. Normally you neutral long jump over to the other side, but I completely blanked out and decided not to do that. So it's not that big, it's not that major. You just have to do everything from behind this bridge. Or behind this wall.
Yeah, no, I still go behind the wall. It's okay.
Yeah, for the quadfecta run, I decided not to do it, but I used to actually do it, and then I thought, like, you know what, this isn't that much better. No, I am completely forgetting all the weapon management here. You'd expect someone that's decent at Ratchet Deadlocked to be good at these type of missions, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Well, not without practicing, at least. You gotta actually, like, put in the work. So it's really ironic whenever, like, I mess up one of these missions and I think, like, man, isn't this, like, my type of thing? Where do I go next? I think next I'm going to Annihilation Nation. I have the Plasma Whip out, so I have the Plasma Whip out. That's muscle memory from when I used to do the old route where we'd play the planets out of order and Marcadia would be after this. But then I remembered that Annihilation Nation, the next level, we do use the Plasma Whip, so it's fine. It all lines up. It was all a part of the plan.
Like this old route thing, I still use that route. It's not old to me. I'll be honest. The only reason this route existed anyway is because everyone's like, oh, it saves like 2 inputs. You know, it's everyone, and then all of a sudden everyone switched to it, and then there was some changes to Arcadia which made it whatever.
Yeah, the VR boxy, because getting the movement to get to the crap. I didn't need to do that. The movement to get to the training course or the little arena where I did the boxy, the movement there was kind of crap to do if you did it on the first visit. So we rerouted the game, so now Arcadia's first. So get ready to start all of your runs with an auto scroller. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see so you might be thinking, so hold on, you're meant to come back to Annihilation Nation, right? You're meant to do the first mission and get the Tyra guys and go to Aquatos and then Tyrannosis, and then you're meant to come back and do Dex. Yeah, that all gets skipped by that VR. Well, it's not VR skip, although we do call it VR skip. It's VR early is what it really should be called. And what that does is it unlocks the second visit to Annihilation Nation without having to complete the first and go down that other route. So that's why we can kind of just leave and ignore all those planets.
Yeah, at the end of this run, since it's the last run, I might show off like the old VR skip for the few people in chat that maybe have not seen it before, because it's still very impressive. It's one of the earliest like big skips found in this game, back when this game was like starting to have its little revolution. Thanks to the work of a guy named Silence, he kind of found like a billion skips. He found out that the charge bits are really broken, and then people like tried it out in Ratchet 2. I think maybe that also happened in Deadlocked. I'm not sure about that game's history. Also, this is Holostar. This is like the worst planet in the game, for many reasons. This Clank section isn't fun. At least I don't personally like it. And then you get to a Ratchet section where you have to do a proxy that I've tried it. I was actually practicing it earlier, and man, I am impressed that anyone gets that thing consistently. Like, I know... Oh, crap. Let's try that again. I'm impressed that anyone gets that thing consistently, because that shit's hard. But the main attraction of this level... Oh, this guy. Inside that building. I think every Ouya runner has a major bone to pick with that guy. It kind of is a bit of a skill issue, but it's also very difficult to like... Well, it's not actually very difficult, it's more so it's easy to mess it up, and if you mess it up, you're paying the price unless you can really clutch it out. So, this is Talos. Oh, you go first, Andy.
Yeah, sure. This is a Terror Talos. It's a boss fight, right? It's meant to be split up into a couple phases, right? And we're going to see the intended first phase. Hey, let's deal some damage. After a certain amount of damage, he's going to try and fly away. We're not going to let him, though. We're going to let him, though. No, never mind. Sadgebean's got him.
Ooh. Yo, okay, we got it.
Yeah, we got him?
Yeah, this is the scary part.
We got it. So you're meant to have to kill these ninjas that are on the floor, and all the time he's like flying away really quickly. But if you're able to kind of just get Clank's body in the way, you can continue to damage him and get the quick kill. But yeah, we got him.
Yeah, that was a little scary right there. One of the funniest memories that I have in my time running this game is I got this friend Ames. She mainly, in terms of Ratchet and Clank, she mainly runs the first game, but we convinced her to play Ouya for a little bit, and there was a moment where somebody in her chat typed like how much they hate Talos, and then she went on for like a minute or two about how she absolutely hates Talos. She didn't know why why every Ouya runner had a bone to pick with that guy. She's like, yes, this guy sucks. This guy's the worst. I hate him so much. It's so bad. I didn't know why you guys hated him. And that moment was just so funny because like I felt like it encapsulated every horrible moment I've had on that boss, every race I've lost, every pace I've lost, every no reset that spent like several minutes to that guy. It's like it was all like I felt every single moment of that.
I think it's also because that's something that kind of, when you get it and it works fine, it's like, yeah, no, this is easy. How could I ever mess this up? And then when you mess it up, it's just full despair.
To anyone that saw the facepalm, that facepalm was for two reasons. One, I forgot to put on the shield, and two, I forgot to do a charge from the top of that tunnel. There's a quirk in this game. Since this level, I'm not going to be doing any strats. I don't do any strats for this level, because I don't like any of them. There's some weird properties with the skins and the armor in this game. So there's a few armor sets that show the charge boots, like they actually show it on Ratchet's model, and then there's skins like this, the Infernox armor, you know, all that stuff. If you're wearing a skin, you can charge from the top of a tunnel that ends on a magnet rail. Like if I were to do it from here, I'd be able to do it fine. I'm not gonna do it obviously because I cannot reach the end. But if you're wearing one of the armors that shows the charge boots, you can't do that, and you also can't do a certain trick, or it enables a certain trick on Velden to work. But then you won't be able to do that. It's very weird how even like the cosmetic stuff actually has a major effect in this game. So
yeah, and as Sajbi was saying, he's kind of just taking this level slowly. This is, I think in older routes, Holostar was absolutely like the run killer. You'd get a run to Holostar, and then the fates would decide if the run continues. In modern day, it's this planet. No matter what strat you're doing, there's kind of two that kind of, for their own reasons, are difficult. Courtney Gears, however, the boss fight there, not so difficult.
I opened the PDA there because when you kill her, she goes off about how her fans can't live without her. We don't really care to hear her talk, so we just open that thing and it just makes her shut up for some reason. Or you can just go into the skins.
She sees that you're shopping.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, she sees that you're shopping. She's like, oh, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no.
It just saves a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, this is Zeldrin Starport. This one is like, this one is one of the more flashy levels. We're completely out of bounds, and what you're gonna see right there is the second half of the level, not loaded in. This, and this. All right, here. Let's see if I get a 50. I'm probably not getting a 50. It's obvious that I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Okay, yeah, 50's dead. 50 refers to getting a 50 on that timer, so beating it in 10 seconds or less. I almost had it in my quadfecta. I had a 49. I was secretly hoping I'd get it in this marathon run. That did not happen at all.
Who knows? It's 45 is basically 50, right? Like,
yeah. You do the math, you get 50.
Yeah. And all these guys are like, oh, 50, yeah, you're a great player. And then people start getting 51s. Like, come on, how are we supposed to compete with like Whiffle and Zem and Tana getting 51s? Come on, man.
Yeah. They're really moving the goalposts, I just did a skip right there. It's frame perfect, but that doesn't mean it's hard. It just means that you have to press 2 buttons on the same frame. It's really easy. Anyone can do it. This is Metropolis. This is one of my favorite levels in the run. I'll let Andy explain it. He gets the epic privilege.
This is Metropolis. We've got to get to the boss, kill the boss, and get back. So those 3 segments, yeah, sure, that's basically every level in this game, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to just touch the outskirts, basically, of this whole map without really going inside it. So skipping a checkpoint here, Sedgebean's now going to go for a proxy, I believe, yeah? Up the side, a nice wrench swing as well out of the proxy, just to get the angle and you can jump out of that wrench swing. Swings over to this building off in the distance, which has collision, and then able to charge onto the boss platform. This is Clank, just a couple of shots from the shot cannon. No weaving required, he dies. And now it's back to the ship.
I'm gonna give this a go.
Yeah, gonna give the full backtrack a go. This is probably the part of Ouya that's had the most like changes. Gets the impossible whip jump. Now we're gonna go for a really unique trick involving a box breaker. Doesn't quite get it, but it's okay. We can just go back the way we came.
That backup is still pretty swag in my opinion, so if that guy gets out of my way, it's swag, so it counts for something.
Yeah, it's nothing's quite as swag as my favourite strat in the game, Taxi Clip, but you know.
Yeah, I did actually manage to do the full backtrack in its entirety a few hours ago, but you know. And yeah, I agree with what Wiffle said. Getting on that lamp it's nowhere near as easy as it looks. Like the steps to it are simple, but sometimes you'll just slide off, or if you start that whip jump, you'll actually be like at a slightly lower height on the lamp, so you won't be able to make the whip jump to the other side. It's a very minor thing that you don't notice until you play this game. This is Crash Site. This level is you whip jump to one side and you whip jump to the other, and you win. This is the last planet that you see in this category that you wouldn't have seen in the short NG Plus with the quit exploit. So this also means that my gameplay is actually gonna be a little bit decent after this.
Yeah, this item that Sedgebean's gonna get from this cutscene here, the master plan, that's the item which we get kind of early in the QE category, and enables basically the large skip here.
Oh shit. Fun little quirk right here of the game. Wherever you are when you touch the cutscene trigger, that's your new checkpoint. So if you touch it in the air and you die, yeah, you're just gonna constantly respawn in the air. Oh!
It happened. It happened, ladies and gentlemen. He went to Aurelia.
So this.
Yeah, you go ahead.
In this game, in the previous two games, when you're getting your ship, the highlighted planet is whatever you're on, and then you just pick the next one by either using the directional buttons or pressing L1 and R1. That's something most people don't know. In this game, they decided to be a little nice, and they're like, you know what, whatever's the next planet, we'll highlight it for you so you can just quickly press X and boom, you're there. The next planet we're supposed to go to is Aurelia. We're supposed to help out the Rangers, get a gadget that's used twice in the game, and one of them you can skip it. Even as a casual player. Oh, I'm getting, once again, NG plus muscle memories kicking in. For the rest of the game, it's going to try and force me to go to Aurelia, so I always have to remember to do extra inputs to not go to Aurelia. I forgot to do that. That's the NG plus muscle memory kicking in. You don't have to do that with QE, but with no QE, you have to do that, so,
It's happened to the best of runners on the best of world record paces. Just forgot to press down. Oh, there's 30 seconds gone from just flying to the wrong planet. This is another kind of very Ratchet and Clank level, this. There's the end of the level, let's just go there. And now let's go back.
Yeah,
I hate this planet casually. It's so terrible. Oh my god.
I like it. I like the graphics and the enemies are kind of unique, at least, you know, at least for this game.
Have you played the Clank section, dude? Oh my
That
God.
is the only bad part. That is absolutely atrocious. It's like, okay, somebody had a little too much fun with the Clank section. But other than that, like, I like this level. It's a vibe. Earlier I mentioned we go out of bounds on the Starship Phoenix. This is what it looks like when the game allows us to go out of bounds. It's all red, it's under attack, and the level geometry is actually different. The geometry for those pipes is not the same as it was earlier when I rode on them. What I just did, I would not have been able to do in the normal version of the Starship Phoenix. And now here, this is one of my favorite parts of the run. So, please, yes.
Camera clip right there.
Lost a bit of speed, but I got the part I wanted. That saves a little bit of time between going through the sideways elevator.
Yeah, shout out to whoever repaired that in like half a second.
Yeah,
they were just like they're working overtime. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is Koros. there's many ways to do this planet. A lot of them suck. One of them is going the casual path, and I'm the only person, to my knowledge, I am the only person that does what you're about to see. So, whip jump to this side of the building, go into first person mode, pull out the turrets, and... Crap. I figured that would happen. There's a tiny bit of hold on. Don't talk, you need to concentrate. There is a tiny bit of ground that you can stand on there. The amount of ground that you can actually stand on is very small, so it's easy to like slip off if you get on top of there. I've lost many runs that way, and my no QE PB loses 40 seconds because of that. That's very I'm not proud of that. Command center.
There's a lot of different ways of doing Koros. As such, all of them suck. Like, it's amazing that we've been, collectively learning about this game, speedrunning this game for like 10 years since the start. We haven't found one that doesn't suck yet. So, Anyway, Command Center.
Yeah.
Another planet that sucks.
This is by far the hardest level in the game. There's no checkpoints, and every single trick is like incredibly difficult. This is the only trick that's... I'm not even entirely sure I'd call this trick like super easy. It's very easy, but not like super easy. This turret bounce, if you're just slightly off, you won't get enough height, or if you're facing the wrong way, you can Ratchet will ledge grab onto something. I'm gonna go for this. Hell yeah, baby!
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
That pipe is deceptively slippery.
Yeah, in my NG
Plus
PB,
sneeze, you will fall off it.
Yeah, in my NG Plus PB, I think to myself, like, you know what, I know I can do it, but I'm not going to go for it because I really don't want to risk that, so this is kind of a payback for that, I guess. It's kind of me saying, like, I'm not done with you, pipe. That was a curved whip jump, that was cool. And very good command center. That was a very good command center, I'm very happy with that.
Clean.
Dr. Nefarious, many of the bosses in the Ratchet and Clank series, many of the final bosses are super easy to take out. Protopet, you just Rhino him. Drek, you don't fight him at all. Nefarious actually has like a lot of steps to him. So, you want to explain one cycle?
So, Nefarious, after you deal maybe like a sixth of his health, is meant to like pretend to die and then fly away, and then you've got to chase him and then kill him somewhere else. However, there is an attack which he can do at a certain amount of health, or there's an attack that he can do but he will not enter that second state until he finishes this attack where he throws his beams. So with some health manipulation, as well as that strat there, Rhino bombing, which we saw on Corny Gears as well, you can get a kill quick enough that he doesn't enter that second stage. And now by Obliterator, the final boss.
4, 5, 6, 16 shots to kill this guy, instead of using the hover ship. This might actually be a PB pace. I briefly looked at the, oh wait, hold on. 15... Time! I briefly looked at the timer, so 36:50... I'm looking at my phone, which is delayed. Yeah, 36:56, that...
Add maybe a second or two, because I accidentally did time when I heard you on Discord as opposed to on the actual stream.
It looked to line up well enough on the stream. I'm actually gonna go into my speedrun.com profile real quick. My PB is a 36:43, so there's a likely chance this isn't a PB. It's very... I honestly don't think it's likely. I think it'll be like a second or two slower, but that was actually not bad. I was expecting that to go much worse.
That was very clean. I thought you played really, really well.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, obviously, there's way faster times, there's people out here that have sub-30s, but considering that this isn't really my main game, and during the time that it was considered my main game last year, I was a lot less proficient. I'm pretty happy with that. So, I guess I'll, any last words? Let's see. Check out the VidComic ILs. I figured since we got the VidComic King right here.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I mentioned yesterday that Deadlocked has a big IL scene. Ouya has a similar one with the VidComics. You briefly saw a hint of a VidComic early in the run. It was that little 2D game with Captain Quark, and I quit out of the menu. That Those are actually really optimized. They have a good scene behind them. And I guess...
That little 2D game.
Yeah.
The disrespect on this. That's the main game here.
Yeah, that's what they put all the budget into.
This is just a side story.
Yeah. Best vidcomic is the original version of vidcomic 1, you know? I guess...
You could have said vidcomic 5.
I guess I'll give you a few quick shoutouts. First of all, Yo Andrew in the call with me for doing this on such short notice. I was like, ah, crap, I should get a commentator for this game, shouldn't I? And then I guess to many of the people that, some of the early pioneers of this game, like Insomniac Nintendo, Silence, who I mentioned earlier, is finding all the stuff in this game. A lot of the people that pushed this game's world record, Zem, Tarna, Cap, and Wiffle, who was in chat, and a good friend of mine, King DDD, current world record holder, first person to get a record with the Marcadia mission skipped. So all 4 of those people and the people that I mentioned just now, they all have some good history behind what they've done with this game. So you know what? I said I'd show this off. I'm gonna show off old VR skip, and because I think it's worth showing off. I think I'll still be able to pull it off. There's many things that can go wrong with it, and I find the boxy that you saw. Oh, I don't need to do those inputs. The boxy that you saw earlier, in my opinion, is so much easier. Like, if you're a newbie and you're gonna learn this game, just learn the boxy, because you only have to learn one hard thing as opposed to like many slightly less difficult tricks, but they can all go wrong and it's all brutally punishing if you miss it. If you miss VR boxy, just quit out and restart. It's so easy. So
yeah, I think VR skip is the thing which whenever anyone like first sees this game and wants to and thinks this is what they see and they're like, I want to speedrun this game. Right, back in the day, I remember seeing VR skip and I was like, okay, this is actually cool now. I like watched them play Velden, I watched them do whatever, and I was like, yeah, this is a nice speed game. And then I saw VR skip, I was like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, and this is also one of the first major barriers for people, because when I started learning, I remember thinking like, is it me or is this like unbelievably difficult? Like, how does anyone do this so proficiently? And I had to like get a lot of help. I'm like, yo, how do I do this part? How do I do this? What do I do here? Like, none of it made any sense at the time. And now it does. This is the VR training course. This is where they teach you how to use the swing shot. And everyone's favorite gadget, the hacker. That one's real fun. But you can just clip through some walls and you skip like huge portions of the training course while Helga yells at you how slow and pathetic and weak you are. It's like, yeah, I'm just casually phasing through. I'm casually breaking through walls, and yeah, I guess that was pathetic. If Helga says so, you know. And then this is where the boxy launch takes me. That's the end of the level. Anything else? No. Thanks for having us.
No worries, thank you very much for taking part again, as per usual. So everybody, that pretty much concludes Mini InstaSpeedathon 2023. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who has watched the stream over the weekend. Thank you to everybody who's taken part as well. It's been an absolutely incredible event. Please stick around for just a few more minutes though, as we essentially close off Mini InstaSpeedathon 2023 and we'll tell you where we're going to next. We obviously do have our events for next year all lined up and ready to go. And we need your help with a few things as well, those of you in the chat and anyone else who wants to see where we go next as well. We do have time obviously for any last minute donations, so if anybody wants to donate, just to put any more last minute donations in and type !donate in the chat, that'll bring you up the link to the donation page, and donations go to EveryoneCan at the end of the event as well. So stick around everyone, we'll talk about where this goes to next. Do you guys have any last things you'd like to say before we finish off?
It was an honor to finish off the marathon with Ouya. It was nice to finish it off with such a good game.
Thank you very much for a great finish to the marathon. So we'll see you all in just a moment, everyone. I'll just put the intermission screen on for a few minutes, and then we will go on to the future of InstaSpeedathon for next year.